Welcome to a cave hotel built in the side of a cliff. We've made it to New Mexico, where we're about to check into a hotel built in the side of a 60-million-year-old sandstone rock formation. I did a full review of this hotel out of 50 points in 5 categories, like always. And the categories are the room, the dining, the it factor, the service, and the ambiance. I'm not associated with Kokopelli Caves or affiliated with the owners in any way. This is just an honest review of a guest staying here for the first time. But I can't wait to show you this one. Let's go meet Carissa, scale these cliffs, and check in.
So 80 feet below us is the actual cave.
Oh, the cave is below us right now.
Yeah.
So you walk down the sandstone here. You have some pipes that are drilled into the rock in this path, and you can see just the sheer cliffside. This has been here for 60 million years. Whoa, look at this. How amazing. We're on the absolute side of a cliff right now. One of the most unique places I've ever been. So after a climb down this side of the cliff, we are finally at the entrance to the cave, and you have to see what's inside. Whoa, how amazing. Okay, the first thing that I notice in here is how cool it is. So this cave uses a natural passive geothermal cooling system, which basically means it stays between 62 to 68 degrees year-round. The cave itself is spacious. It's 1,600 square feet. There's a full bedroom, there's a kitchen, a full bathroom that I can't wait to show you in a second, and overall feels like a small home that you might stay in, even though you are literally living in the side of a cliff. So even though we're in a cave right now, it doesn't feel like you're confined. This is stone right here, and above us is where we were earlier walking down the cliffside. Just incredible when you look around and think about the fact that we are in the side of a mountain. So this cave won number 3 in the top 10 most unique places to stay in the United States. It's also been featured in National Geographic magazine multiple times and is a must-do if you love unique places to stay like this. But of course, like always, let's test the bed. I don't know how they got this in here, but there's a plush comforter on top. The mattress itself is firm, but still has a little bit of give to it. Definitely excited for this stay and this sleep here tonight. They built in a Native American ceremony circle called a kiva into this cave. They also have a full fireplace with a chimney that's not functioning right now. They are working on it. For right now, it is just an amazing accent to an already incredible room here in a cave. And if you thought all of that was enough for a cave, they built a full kitchen in here as well. So you have a refrigerator, a washer dryer, a stovetop somehow they got in here, and all of the amenities that you need to have a stay and to cook and to take care of your family. Behind me, there is a Kokopelli symbol, which is what the cave is named after. This is the deity of fertility, pretty common in New Mexico, but all over the cave in various different places. The final room I want to show you in the cave is the bathroom and this waterfall shower. Now, I've reviewed a lot of showers on this channel, but this is one of the most unique by far. Not only do you have the candles in the rock face here, you also have a full jacuzzi bath down below and a heated floor in the bathroom in general. But of course, like always, let's test the shower. So you have this pine cone here that controls the water flow. Now I'm going to step out so that I don't get wet here, but you can see how it comes out. It gets hot pretty quickly, and it is one stream, so it's a pretty strong pressure that you're going to get in the shower, but it's more of a rainfall type situation than it is an actual shower. So keep that in mind. But overall, so cool, really beautiful, and pretty practical as well. So the very last thing I want to show you in this room before we do the official room score is right here. So these are the imprints of the hands of the generations of people who have built and worked on this cave before us staying in it today. I just thought that was such a nice personal touch that they put in their mark in this wall, just like we can leave our mark in the rocks around the cave as well. So overall, this is one of the most unique rooms that I have ever stayed in. The bed is comfortable, the shower is incredible, the room itself is naturally cooled. It is such an interesting and unique place to stay. However, if you're allergic to mold, for example, or you don't like moist caves, you probably shouldn't sleep here for the night. However, it is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience, and I think that definitely contributes to the overall room score. Now, the furnishings themselves maybe aren't the most luxury or high-end. There's some things that possibly could be replaced. I didn't love the pink carpeting in here, just design-wise, but these are tiny things when you're thinking about staying in a cave, and there's really not much else to compare it to. All in all, it is one of the best and most unique rooms that we've ever stayed in, so I gave it an 8 out of 10. Okay, so it's almost dinner time. Let's call an order from their menu of cave-inspired meals.
Hello?
Hi, Carissa. I was wondering if I could order from the menu in the room.
Absolutely. What can I get for you?
Could I try the slab, the ribeye, the howling honey salmon, please, and then the cyclone rolled tacos, please, chicken.
Okay, sounds good. Give us about an hour and I will call you when I'm headed down the trail.
Amazing. All right, thank you, Carissa. I'll see you soon.
All right, thanks, Ryan.
Bye. While we're waiting, let's go explore. Another amazing thing about this hotel is that every guest that has stayed here designs a stone when they leave and have placed it inside of the cave or around the outside. So these cliffs are pretty jagged and steep, and you have to technically go up and down them every day if you're staying here. It's equally exciting and a little terrifying. This is a magical place, and I can see why they built the bed and breakfast right here in the side of this cliff. The hummingbirds, the animals everywhere, the incredible sunset and view that you have from here. The ambiance of this location is really, really special, and one of the highest that I've reviewed. There's a few things that could be improved in the property, like some of the different pieces that are showing that maybe they wouldn't want to show. If you are in a wheelchair or have difficulty with mobility, you're not going to be able to stay at Kokopelli's Cave. However, the ambiance is definitely special, and I would stay here for a long time if I could. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Hello.
Hi.
Hey. So this is a lot of food, and you can tell it is definitely made with care and thought. So Carissa let us know that all of the food here is made by a private chef that works exclusively with Kokopelli Caves. Let's give it a try and see if it's as good as it looks. It's so salty, very salty. So the first thing we want to try here, the ribeye, is very good. It's well cooked. There's a lot of salt on it. So this is the most unique thing I could find on the menu, the Hatch Chili Cookies. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's one of the best cookies I've ever had. Genuinely one of the best. That's really, really good. So the honey salmon here in New Mexico, we're pretty far from where salmon would naturally be, but let's give it a shot. Surprisingly very good. Almost everything here has been spicy, which is nice and feels like New Mexico. The broccoli is also spicy. If you don't like spicy food, there's probably something on the menu for you, but don't get the cookies, don't get the salmon, don't get the steak, maybe the salad. I think you'd be in a good spot. So other things in this meal, maybe not as incredible as a meal you might have at a Michelin restaurant or a hotel that has a huge, massive kitchen, but these cookies you could sell in a grocery store and I think make it a national phenomenon. Look, for a cave to have any dining options at all is incredible, but I want to give it an honest dining score like we do every other hotel on the channel. I would have given this maybe a 4 or a 5 out of 10 if it weren't for those cookies. Honestly, the Hatch chili cookies were some of the best I've ever had anywhere. Some of the things that I think maybe could have been improved, everything is very spicy, but also very salty, not a ton of flavor, and just not maybe as good as some of the other hotels that you've seen. But again, those cookies will make you come back just to try them, and I truly think they really should package and sell them. I gave the dining a 7 out of 10. And Carissa is a therapeutic body worker, so you can book a massage during your stay here, which is incredible. So the service score for a small bed and breakfast like this is a difficult one to give. On one hand, you have the incredible, kind, hands-on staff, but on the other hand, they lack the resources to have the same kind of amenities and features that the larger hotels might have. A good example of this is when I went to go book, I was booked on 3 different dates on the website. I couldn't get them to cancel. They were shown as being booked out. I had to wait for a call from the owner just to reverse the booking and be able to actually stay here tonight. However, once you arrive, the staff are incredible. So I gave the service an overall 7.5 out of 10. So now let's talk about the it factor score. The it factor is that special thing about a place that makes you want to come back again and again and tell your friends about it because there's just something unique. This is one of the highest it factors of any hotel I've ever stayed at. Hotels like this one are truly the reason why I started this channel in the first place. It is such a unique stay. The little animals that are everywhere around the property, the hotel itself being built into the side of a cliff, the history of it being built by dynamite and the family that built this and created this hotel, and the staff that work here. It just has such an incredible, special feeling when you come and stay. I truly could not believe my eyes when I saw it. My jaw dropped when I walked into the room for the first time. I gave the it factor for this one a 9.5 out of 10. So that was the Kokopelli Cave Hotel here in New Mexico. Truly one of the most unique hotels I have ever reviewed on this channel. It is more than just a stay, it's truly an experience when you come and stay here. Remember that it books out months in advance, so look at some dates well into the future if you're thinking about coming. But now it's time to check out and give it that final score out of 50 points. To say I recommend this hotel is an absolute understatement. I think it is worth the trip. It is worth traveling across the world, like some people that have come here all the way from Belgium or Asia. It is honestly one of the most unique things I've ever seen and experiences I've ever had. I gave the Kokopelli Cave Hotel here in New Mexico a 40.5 out of 50. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.